Imagine this: on one side, the Hollywood megastar and WWE legend, The Rock, and on the other side, the face of WWE, the unstoppable, John Cena. When these two collided, it wasn't just a wrestling match, it was the ultimate battle of competition and respect, a rivalry the world still talks about today. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of WWE's most unforgettable rivalries, John Cena versus The Rock. This wasn't just about promos, punches, and main events. Behind the spotlight, there was ego, pride, intense competition, and yes, a lot of respect too. But before we get started, if you're a true WWE fan, make sure to smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, because tomorrow we're bringing you another epic WWE story. And tell us in the comments, are you Team Cena or Team Rock? Your support motivates us to bring you amazing WWE videos every single day. Every era in WWE has a rivalry that defines it. A feud so big that fans talk about it years later. The Attitude Era, it was Stone Cold versus The Rock. In the Ruthless Aggression Era, it was Cena versus Batista. But when John Cena and The Rock finally clashed, it was unlike anything the WWE Universe had ever seen. This wasn't just about wrestling. This wasn't just about titles. This was about pride, legacy, and the clash of two generations. On one side stood The Rock, the people's champion, the most electrifying man in sports, entertainment, and a Hollywood megastar. He was a legend who had already proven himself inside the ring and then conquered the world outside it. Fans loved him not only for his in-ring charisma, but because he was larger than life. On the other side was John Cena, the face of WWE for more than a decade. The man who carried the company during its toughest years. Loved by millions, hated by some, but respected by all. He was the franchise player, the guy who showed up every single night, living by his motto of hustle, loyalty, and respect. When these two collided, the energy was electric. Fans around the world were divided, some chanting, "Let's go Cena," while others roared, "Rocky, Rocky!" It wasn't just a match. It was a global event. It felt like the entire world was watching. But what made this rivalry special wasn't only the action inside the ring. It was the emotion outside it. The promos, the tension, the real-life heat. Cena believed The Rock had abandoned WWE for Hollywood. The Rock believed he had already given everything to the business and had nothing left to prove. Their clash was personal, and that's what made it unforgettable. This rivalry became a story of competition and respect. Two icons, both proud, both determined, and both unwilling to back down. And to truly understand why their feud meant so much, we need to start from the beginning, with The Rock's legacy and how his return to WWE changed everything. When you talk about legends in WWE, very few names shine brighter than The Rock. Long before his Hollywood fame, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was the heart and soul of the Attitude Era. From the moment he stepped into the ring with his unmatched charisma, he captured the audience like no one else. His catchphrases, "It doesn't matter what your name is," or "If you audience like no one else." His catchphrases, "It doesn't matter what your name is," or "If you smell what The Rock is cooking," were not just words. They were moments. Fans screamed them in unison, entire arenas shaking with excitement. During the late 90s and early 2000s, The Rock was on top of the wrestling world. He headlined WrestleManias, won multiple championships, and battled icons like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, and The Undertaker. His presence wasn't just about wrestling. It was about entertainment, energy, and electricity. That's why he became known as the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. But by 2002, The Rock had conquered WWE and began to chase something bigger, Hollywood. Slowly, he transitioned into movies. Fans felt proud, but also betrayed. Their people's champ was now starring in films instead of fighting inside the squared circle. For nearly 7 years, The Rock stayed away from WWE full-time. His rare appearances were nostalgic, but nothing more. And then came 2011, the moment that changed everything. WWE announced that WrestleMania would have a special guest host. The lights went down, the crowd held its breath, and suddenly, "If you smell what The Rock is cooking," blasted through the speakers. The arena exploded. After years away, The Rock was back. The energy that night was unmatched. The crowd roared louder than ever, and even through the TV screen, fans could feel the goosebumps. The people's champ had returned home. But this wasn't just a one-night surprise. The Rock wasn't here only to entertain. He was here with a mission. He set his sights on the new face of WWE, John Cena. And in that very moment, the seeds of a legendary rivalry were planted. The Rock's return wasn't just about nostalgia. It was about proving a point. Could the old guard still outshine the new? Could the people's champ remind the world why he was one of the greatest of all time? And just like that, the countdown to the ultimate clash began. When The Rock was building his empire in Hollywood, another superstar was rising inside the WWE, John Cena. John Cena debuted in 2002 with a ruthless aggression that made him stand out immediately. But it wasn't until he transformed into the chain-wearing, freestyle rapping doctor of thugonomics that he really captured attention. Fans saw someone fresh, bold, and entertaining. A wrestler who could battle inside the ring and destroy opponents on the microphone. As the years passed, Cena evolved. He dropped the rapper gimmick and embraced the role of a true hero. His motto, hustle, loyalty, respect, became more than just words. It became his identity. Kids adored him, families loved him, and soon Cena became the biggest merchandise seller in WWE history. But Cena wasn't just about t-shirts and catchphrases. He was the workhorse of WWE. He showed up every single week. He carried the company when ratings struggled. He won Tito, ARW, Orton and Edge, H. Lul, Jen, DSL, Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Randy. Time after time, Cena stood tall, proving he was the face of the company. By the late 2000s, there was no doubt John Cena was the franchise player. The man Vince McMahon trusted to represent WWE worldwide. He headlined WrestleManias, won multiple championships, and carried the company during a time when many stars came and went. But here's the twist. While fans respected Cena's hard work, not everyone loved him. Half the crowd cheered, "Let's go Cena," while the other half booed with Cena sucks chants. No matter what, Cena always drew a reaction, and that's what made him special. When The Rock returned in 2011, Cena wasn't just another guy on the roster. Was the guy, the face of WWE, the man who had held the company on his shoulders. While The Rock chased Hollywood dreams, Cena felt The Rock had abandoned WWE. In his promos, he called The Rock a sellout, a man who left the fans behind for fame. And Cena wasn't afraid to say this directly to the WWE universe. This tension turned their rivalry into something real. It wasn't just about kayfabe. It wasn't just storyline. This was personal. Cena wanted to prove he was greater than The Rock, while The Rock wanted to show that his legacy could never be outshined. And with both men standing tall as icons of their eras, the WWE Universe knew one thing for sure. A clash was coming, and it was going to be bigger than anything they had ever witnessed before. When The Rock returned in 2011, the WWE Universe was on fire. But his comeback wasn't just about nostalgia. It was about competition. And there was only one man standing at the top of the mountain at that time: John Cena. The rivalry began with words. Cena accused The Rock of leaving WWE behind, calling him a part-time star who cared more about Hollywood than the fans. The Rock fired back with his trademark insults, mocking Cena's bright t-shirts and his "you can't see me" catchphrase. Their promos weren't just scripted entertainment. They were filled with real heat, real emotions, and real shots at each other. Fans loved it. Every week on Raw, the tension grew higher. Cena versus Rock wasn't just WWE storytelling. It felt like two worlds colliding. The Rock represented the past, attitude, charisma, larger-than-life aura. Cena represented the present, hard work, consistency, and the loyalty of A. Cena represented the present, hard work, consistency, and the loyalty of a new generation. The build-up led to WrestleMania 28 in Miami, Florida, The Rock's hometown. The match was promoted as once in a lifetime. For over a year, WWE hyped this clash. It was unlike anything ever done before. The Rock and Cena didn't just meet in a match. They carried an entire year-long storyline leading to the grandest stage of them all. And when that night finally arrived, the atmosphere was unreal. Over 78,000 fans packed into Sun Life Stadium, and millions more watched around the world. The crowd was split down the middle. "Let's go Cena" versus Rocky. "Rocky! Rocky!" Chants shook the arena. The match itself was emotional, dramatic, and filled with near falls that had fans on the edge of their seats. Cena tried everything to put The Rock away, but the People's Champ wasn't going down easy. In the end, after a grueling battle, The Rock countered Cena's moves and hit a thunderous rock bottom to secure the victory. The stadium exploded. The Rock had defeated John Cena, proving that even after years away, he was still the Great One. Cena, on the other hand, was crushed. Had promised victory, but instead, he sat outside the ring, stunned and humiliated. While The Rock celebrated, the once-in-a-lifetime match was supposed to end the rivalry. But the truth is, this was only the beginning. Because when competition runs this deep, one match can never be enough. What made the rivalry between John Cena and The Rock so powerful wasn't just what happened in the ring. It was the tension outside of it. This feud felt real, because in many ways, it actually was. Backstage, many believed that Cena and Rock genuinely didn't like each other. Cena had been very vocal in interviews, saying that The Rock abandoned WWE for Hollywood. He called him a sellout, who only returned when it was convenient, not when the fans truly needed him. These weren't just storyline lines. This was Cena's real opinion, and that's why it stung. The Rock, on the other hand, didn't take kindly to Cena's words. He had given years of his life to WWE, headlining shows, creating unforgettable memories, and helping the company grow worldwide. To him, leaving for Hollywood wasn't betrayal, it was evolution. But when Cena mocked him on live TV, calling him phony, and even writing insults on his arm during promos, The Rock took it personally. Their promos during this time were some of the most intense in WWE history. You could see the fire in their eyes, the way they leaned into every word, and the way the crowd hung on to every insult. It wasn't just two wrestlers cutting scripted promos, it was two proud men throwing verbal punches with all their heart. WWE played into this real tension. making the rivalry even bigger. Fans weren't sure what was real and what was part of the storyline. Was this personal? Was there real heat? The answer was yes, a mix of both. After WrestleMania 28, where The Rock defeated Cena, the rivalry didn't cool down. In fact, the loss fueled Cena even more. He admitted that defeat haunted him. He needed redemption not just as a character, but as a man. The Rock, meanwhile, returned to WWE once again and captured the WWE Championship in 2013. This set the stage for a rematch, WrestleMania 29. And this time, it was not just about pride, but also about the biggest prize in the business, the WWE title. The real-life heat between Cena and Rock made every face-off feel authentic. When they stood across from each other in the ring, you could feel the electricity. It wasn't just two superstars performing. It was two men with bruised egos, unfinished business, and the need to prove who truly was the best. By the time WrestleMania 29 arrived in 2013, the rivalry between John Cena and The Rock had reached its peak. This wasn't just another match. This was personal redemption for Cena, and a chance for The Rock to prove his first victory wasn't a fluke. The stakes were higher than ever because the WWE Championship was on the line. The Rock came in as the champion, while Cena came in as the challenger, desperate to erase the sting of last year's loss. The atmosphere was electric once again. Fans were divided. The chants echoed throughout the arena, and the tension was unforgettable. The match was hard-fought, emotional, and symbolic. Cena pushed himself harder than ever, and in the end, he finally got his redemption. With one final attitude adjustment, Cena defeated The Rock and reclaimed the WWE Championship. But what happened after the match was perhaps more important than the victory itself. As Cena stood over The Rock, the entire WWE universe held its breath. Would Cena rub it in? Would he mock The Rock like The Rock mocked him a year earlier? Instead, Cena did something unexpected. He extended his hand. The Rock, exhausted and in pain, looked at Cena. And in that moment, years of tension, insults, and competition melted away. The two icons embraced in the middle of the ring, showing the world that even the fiercest rivals could share mutual respect. This was bigger than a championship. This was bigger than wins and losses. This was about two men who had given everything to WWE. Two men who represented different eras standing together as equals. For the fans, that moment became legendary. It wasn't just about Cena finally proving himself or The Rock passing the torch. It was about respect, pure, genuine respect. After that night, Cena admitted publicly that The Rock had inspired him, and The Rock praised Cena for being the hardest working man in WWE. Their rivalry had started with bitterness and ego, but it ended with admiration and brotherhood. And that's what made this feud truly special. It wasn't just a story of hate. It was a journey that turned two competitors into lifelong brothers in the business. The rivalry between John Cena and The Rock will forever be remembered as one of the greatest stories in WWE history. It had everything: competition, tension, real-life heat, and in the end, respect. Two eras collided. Two icons pushed each other to the limit. And what we got was not just matches, but moments that became history. But here's the truth. Rivalries like this don't happen often. They're rare, they're legendary, and they remind us why we all fell in love with WWE in the first place. Now, before you go, I want you to do two things. One, to smash that like button if this story gave you goosebumps. Subscribe and turn on the bell because, as always, tomorrow we're back with another massive WWE rivalry that you don't want to miss. Yes, That's right. This is part of our daily WWE series, and every single day we bring you another epic story from the world of wrestling. If today's video took you back in time, trust me, tomorrow's video will hit even harder. So tell me right now in the comments, are you Team Cena or Team Rock? Let's see which side takes over the comments section tonight. Until tomorrow's video, stay hyped, stay subscribed, and always respect the legends.